What's up? Welcome. Today we got one of my least favorites, Mr. Horrible. And, well, you know how thrilled I am whenever he's around. He just disappoints me more and more, like in a real way, each time that he's on anything. There's only one reason why people like Kevin come on shows like this. Okay, and we're going to talk about that later, so like, subscribe.
Tonight, there's no sense in hiding it. President Trump essentially sending a DM to Pam Bondi, but the entire world saw it. He urged the Attorney General to prosecute his enemies, literally. On a Truth Social, Trump told Bondi that he sees people saying, "What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done." Then he said that they can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. 3 exclamation points on that one. It's the very thing that Trump and his fellow Republicans have railed against for years.
God.
The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
The weaponization of government.
We got to stop the weaponization.
Stop the weaponization of government.
Partisan weaponization of the Justice Department will end.
Stop the weaponization of government.
The weaponization of government.
I want to end the weaponization of government.
This Republican majority is going to continue to go and look into the weaponization of government.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents.
If you haven't learned anything by now, that just means that's what they're doing. These types of parroting within the conservatives means that is quite literally what they're doing or what they're working on or what their goal is. I mean, it's clear as day, but I guess a bunch of dinguses believe the biggest, most known liar in the world somehow.
Joining us in the 5th seat is Nick Ackerman, former assistant special Watergate prosecutor. Nick, never again until today.
Until now.
I guess.
That's right.
But I also wonder, with this explicit message being sent out for the whole world to see, does that complicate things if they do, in fact, try to prosecute these people? Because, I mean, Trump has basically said he wants them to be prosecuted because he wants retribution.
Well, he's got a lot of problems there. First of all, they have to have evidence. You can't just indict somebody and hope that you can somehow convict them. You have to have evidence. Look at the Lisa Cook situation, for example. I mean, they just took 2 applications where some bureaucrat probably checked off some items, making it look like she was claiming that this was her primary residence. They never bothered to go behind those documents. They never bothered to look at all of the applications that were submitted along with that situation. And it shows, I mean, it was one of the news services that pulled that out that shows that she was totally candid in what she said. I prosecuted these kinds of cases before. You have to have real evidence. You can't make this up. You can't do it for political reasons. A jury is not going to convict beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's why you've had prosecutors resigning. The fellow in Eastern District resigned because he was being asked to do something on which there was no evidence.
Yeah, but don't you think that John Bolton, whose house was raided the other day by the FBI, supposedly over an investigation related to classified material or something, is very happy about this tweet? And if he in fact gets indicted and taken to trial, we're going to see this tweet as part of his defense?
Well, of course we're going to see that because the kind of publicity. I mean, look what Pam Bondi did with Garcia, Abrego Garcia. They came up with this case that was based on a bunch of illegal aliens who were going to be sent off to El Salvador. And in order to keep from going to El Salvador, they made up these stories about Abrego Garcia. Their credibility is like about zero. The district court found that they had zero credibility. And this is the kind of evidence that once you get to a trial, it's, first of all, you got a pretrial argument, and then you're going to win in front of a jury, and Trump is going to look terrible.
So, Phil, how does Trump...
He always looks terrible, but you know what? That's why Taco Tits never wins his lawsuits. It's just a waste of time.
So true.
I mean, he's like a little child. He's worse than a little child on crack. And yes, Trump always looks terrible. But I just can't. He's wasting so much time Like, you heard him, like, pre-trials and all that stuff. So much time in taxpayer dollars on nothing. I mean, that's like me suing this lamp for whatever the fuck reasons. If I color a piece of paper and say, you know what I mean? It's like, I cannot believe all the lawsuits that he files on people with nothing, with no evidence, nothing. Doesn't he feel it when he makes himself look stupid? Can't he almost like physically feel that? I mean, my God.
Justify claiming that he's not going to weaponize the DOJ.
You know what? First, wait, let me play this clip. Let me just play this clip because this is totally going with what I said.
What should that tell us about how to assess these types of denials and even lawsuits from him and politicians who play this game?
Well, in the case of the lawsuit against me, the judges dismissed it and given Trump an opportunity, as he should, or as lawyers, to come back and raise new questions. I mean, that's what happens. But that's been dismissed, and it's about the publication of Trump's voice in interviews I did that Trump did voluntarily, acknowledged it was being recorded, acknowledged it was on the record. So it's very much a clear case, and I think the judge understands this. But again, you never know what's going to happen in a court case.
But with Trump suing the Wall Street Journal over something that's now been highly corroborated, how do we take that lawsuit? It's all for show?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, Trump definitely thinks that if you sue somebody, and it's not just his supporters, but I think there's, well, somebody's suing, there's at least a question. And it is a way to gain the appearance or the reality of leverage. And then we see some lawsuits.
You know what I mean? I mean, I could probably find a million clips like that.
And then he literally explicitly asks for the DOJ to be weaponized. And then on top of that, actually fires somebody who he had just hired because that person said there weren't the facts to support this case. How does he justify that?
There's several layers here. I mean, the first thing you got to look at is the
This guy's a total airhead, by the way. He doesn't know shit.
question of who he's got in place is a big deal. Right now, the Democrats have stalled the confirmations of almost every U.S. attorney nomination in the entire United States.
Not this one.
There's only 93 available.
This guy was confirmed.
And that guy was confirmed, but he was
and then fired.
Few, and one of the very few. And he chose to step down. But the reality is, what you've got right now.
That makes no sense. And he got confirmed. Yes, he did. And he got fired. And he chose to step down. This is so MAGA talk. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying? They don't even know what they're saying.
Now is a situation where the DOJ is hampered. And the whole call in that text, that tweet, which was then recanted within an hour, and y'all are not even talking about the one where he came out and said, I do like Pam Bondi. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, but I guess
was the reality.
Oh, are we supposed to? Why would we waste our time? That is so petty. Like, we would waste our time saying, everybody.
Is he saying we need to act?
Well, hold on a second.
Fucked in the head.
But hold on. Maybe the DOJ short staffed. It doesn't really matter because the one guy who was responsible for all three of these cases looked at the facts and said, we don't have enough evidence here. And then Trump, maybe after there was a huge amount of blowback from this incredibly political tweet.
He doesn't know what that means.
Says, I have confidence in Pam Bondi, but then appointed somebody who he had also said he believes is actually going to do what he wants her to do. I don't know that exonerates him.
You make it sound like Trump's actually subject to blowback. I don't think he really cares.
So then why did he walk it back?
Because he realized what he had said might have sounded different.
So that sounds like blowback.
So he came back and he said, he changed his own tweet. So I don't know why that would be blowback. I mean, if you come back in and you change your own tweet, what is that blowback?
It sounds like he's responding to people saying, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think so
and he backtracked.
No, but I think part
it doesn't matter if you think so. That's what's happening.
He expressed confidence in his own person.
He only backtracked in the sense of
he expresses confidence in his own person. How does that? You guys, that is that is some gay shit. I have never seen straight men talk about other men, especially like in work, in their work aspects of life. It's fucking weird. I mean, you guys are so gay.
In a message that he's fine with Pam Bondi, which is really not the issue here. The issue here is whether he wants the U.S. attorney to prosecute people based on his desire versus what the law says. That's what the issue is, not Pam Bondi. I don't frankly care how he feels about Pam Bondi. But that's not the issue here.
But
it was the issue.
Can I just say
right
a quick word? Because I think
It was
for
the
me,
issue.
no legal order can survive with massive revenge and retribution. Once your culture breaks down with distrust and it's overwhelmed by revenge and retribution, all the litigious activity in the world is not going to reconstitute the kind of civic virtue that's required for citizens to relate to each other as citizens.
I love what you're saying, but let me point something out, and this is good news for all of us.
God, here he comes.
What you're describing is the acts of a banana republic.
Okay, wait a minute. Listen to Kevin, because he's so stupid. Listen to what Kevin's about to say, okay? I mean, he's just walking, he's walking right into this one, but he's too stupid to even catch on to that part. Watch.
Okay? That's what they do in places like Venezuela and absolute countries where you can't attract capital anymore. America, this week, attracted more capital from around the world than it ever has. And I take a lot of solace in that, because if they really thought we were a banana republic and this stuff had any traction, this stuff is all crapola.
Hold on a
It's
second.
just crap.
Let me tell you something. Wait. Wait. No. Let me say this, because I was actually...
Hold on, guys. All right. One at a time.
I was born and I spent my childhood in one of those, as you call them, banana republics, the country of Nicaragua.
And look where you are now.
Okay, but let me say...
Stupid. Look how well Anna lays this shit down. And watch. This is what MAGA people do. When they get, like, ironed out like this, when they get pancaked like this, they start saying, they just turn into 2-year-olds. Watch.
Because I fled a dictatorship. And the things that Donald Trump is doing in this, the things that Donald Trump is doing in this country are awfully reminiscent to the things that Nicolas Maduro is doing in Venezuela.
Where you came from now?
No, I'm going to defend democracy in the United States, because this is my country. But I can tell you that stifling debate, that going after the media, that going after your opponents, that weaponizing government, that enriching your own family, those are all things that are done by dictators.
Hold on a second.
Against Google and Visa.
Go ahead.
Where were you?
Was that for real? Oh my! I would have. I can't believe Anna was just talking like about serious things, and he was like, "Meh." Oh my God! It's his whole like, "Oh, I can't hear you over all my money" kind of stuff. Get the out of here. You know what? He's Canadian, and I'm sure he has houses here, whatever. He's super rich, but he lives in Canada. He raised his kids in Canada. Why? Because Canada is a better country. They get free healthcare. It's just it's just anybody who has money and has left the country knows better than to live in America full time, okay? He's just trying to play the part to make, he wants you Americans, us Americans, to think, oh, everything's all right. Look at Kevin. He's rich and he's giving us advice. No, we're Canada's Mexico, okay? He comes down here to take advantage of us. Are you kidding me? How do you think? I mean, all he talks about is money.
No, antitrust is part of the law. That's actually a literal mechanism in the law.
But I'm going to respond to my dear brother here, because you primarily have the criteria of markets and money and ways in which capital is moving.
The essence of America, my friend.
There have been fascist societies that have as high capital. If all America is just money and capital,
we are the entrepreneurial nation.
We are definitely in deep trouble.
Doesn't work without money.
Well, of course, that's one factor, but that can't be the major one. You don't worship a golden calf until you can preserve a decent democratic society.
Why
we got to get our brother in here.
Look, I mean, this is whole business about money.
Guys, one at a time.
I came here seeking freedom.
Everybody, hold on a second. One at a time. Go ahead.
What Trump has done is he has deeply corrupted the Department of Justice. It no longer depends on the evidence. He's brought in people, he's required cases to be brought that have absolutely nothing behind them. He files lawsuits that have nothing behind them. He sued the New York Times last week. The complaint was so bad that the judge threw it out before the New York Times lawyers even had a chance to move for it. It works to an extent, but the problem with the legal system is it's slow. And he can make that Department of Justice move quickly. For example, what he did with Abrego Garcia, he put in a trumped-up case because he didn't like the fact that the guy came back.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Essentially got evidence in there to
Kevin. Yeah, I mean, Kevin, I have a couple of quibbles with you, but one, let me
don't
read
say.
for you. This is a story on CNN.com just today. CEOs are growing
Have you
alarmed,
comment on that? That
even
was
if they are
remarkable.
publicly staying quiet to avoid the wrath of the White House. Business leaders are
How do you know they're alarmed?
alarmed in private about the state of democracy in the United States, according to Jeff Sonnenfeld at Yale. But secondly, I mean, look, it's pretty easy to get on Trump's good side. You say you're going to bring a bunch of cash into the United States. You flatter him. I mean, I think business leaders domestically and internationally see the game. They're like, okay, we'll play the game, but that's not to say that the game is the way that this democracy ought to operate.
You know,
I don't know that Americans want a democracy that is pay to play.
Okay, wait a second.
Is what I'm saying.
Great CEOs, of which there are many in America, evidenced by the fact that 52 cents of every dollar on earth comes here to invest in those same companies, S&P 500, plus the millions of companies that are private, 5 to 500 employees. We are the essence of the largest economy on earth. That's what we have. What they really care about is their customers, their employees, and their investors.
Oh my God,
they
he's
know
so annoying.
that the President of the United States, whoever it is, and the current Congress and the senators, they're rotating. They rotate through every 4 to 8 years. What they care about is making sure their businesses, and this is why America has worked for 200 years, they keep their eye on the prize. Customers, employees, shareholders. It's the only economy that has survived every attack, including every administration. I don't care whether it's...
I'm not just...
Okay, he oversimplified that to the max, and he has to put it on this whole facade because, you know, he has to make it seem like, oh, you know, I'm kicked back, and he sure as hell doesn't live here. I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm sure maybe he believes maybe a sliver of it's true. I don't even know if I'll give him that much credit, but he's only telling Americans, he's basically like, yes, don't worry, stay stupid, stay broke. So, you know, he just takes advantage of more stuff, and trust me, it does work.
Red or blue?
I'm not disagreeing with that. I agree with you that that's like the basic premise, right? But I also think that it's also very clear that these businesses are taking Trump as he operates, whether they like it or not, whether they think it's democratic or not, and they're saying, okay, this is how he operates. He needs us to donate to this pet project or that pet project. He needs us to flatter him in this way or that way, and we're going to do it because that's good for our shareholders in the near term.
Reagan,
but I also
Clinton,
think that it could very well be...
They all did the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, but it could very well be that those same companies are concerned about long-term what this means for the United States.
What's long-term in politics?
Well, long-term is
so
a legal
whiny.
environment and a
What do you
regulatory
mean?
environment that is subject to the whims of one person rather than rules and regulations that everybody
But it's
plays
not.
by.
Well, let me just say this.
That's the
The
issue.
Department of Justice is going to take years for them to get out of this. I mean, there are people that have left that have been there, people that were built up expertise over 20, 30 years that have been chased out of there, that have quit. They quit over the Eric Adams situation. They quit over what happened with the corruption.
Jeffrey Epstein, the Comey firing of Comey.
Yeah, that's just the whole ethos around the Department of Justice. Where I came from, I had been there for over 10 years. It was a whole different story. You go in, it's not political. You just take the evidence where it leads you without fear or favor. You prosecute your cases. It's not happening that way. The judges don't trust the department anymore. They don't trust what the
See, that's the
lawyers
distrust
say.
I'm talking about.
And this is going to take years for us to dig out of it.
Well,
And
that's
the
the
same
point you're
goes
trying
for
to
the
get
State Department. The
Very,
same
very
goes
deep.
for the EPA.
But
We are in a huge world of hurt right now.
All right, Nick Ackerman, thank you very much.
Oh, she just glazed over it. You know, he's damaged things so deep. I mean, real deep. Not even just us as like a country and our reputation and all that, he really did, but there are a list of things that he has damaged for so bad that it can't even be fixed in my lifetime, like in all seriousness. And I hate that MAGA people hear that and they're like, yeah, so what? What do you mean, so what? But what a freaking idiocracy, parallel universe reality like that we live in right now. What the hell? Did you see that DM or text or whatever to Pam Bondi? And that's okay. And we're all just like, oh, la, 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 la. You know, he's saying, oh, I don't want to weaponize the government. That is quite literally, I knew it because that's what he does. He goes and he does this. He has an accordion and he just talks to you guys, and you guys eat that shit up, man. It's crazy because I'm like, it's like if I took a blue shirt off and it was red, and I was like, I'm wearing a red shirt now, and you guys were like, green, it's just blue. No, you're green. It's like all these, like the most insane, I mean, you guys would go through the most insane type of spinning just to die for the fact that the shirt was not red. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not? There's no denying it. It's right in front of us. Like, what the hell? He's a lie. He's the most known liar in the whole entire universe.
So true.
And this is the guy. This is the guy that you guys are just. We're gonna lose our First Amendment for this fucking guy. We're losing so much. So much has been damaged. But our First Amendment, of all things, to this guy, he's like the carrot top of like losers. I mean, he's even like a loser within losers. Seriously, I mean, you guys think he's all cool now? He's a big time. No, he wasn't. Nobody liked him in the 90s. Nobody liked him in the 80s. He was weird. He was always chasing after chicks in like a not flattering way. Nobody liked him. If you guys, the younger people knew, you would be so embarrassed and like ashamed to be worshiping this fucking guy right now, this freak. And I just can't, I don't know what the line is for you guys. And I know you guys are like, nothing, I'm gonna die for this guy, which is like the most gayest thing, like literally gayest thing in the world. Like, when do you hear people say that about a fucking president or even a celebrity? That's not right. And I've spent a lot of time in like the whole psychology therapy, industry, and I just have to say, seriously, this country is starving to damn near death for mental health, like resources. And I wish to God that people didn't take therapy as an insult. Like, I had all these MAGA people arguing with me on Instagram, and I probably mentioned my therapist, and they're like, oh, they said some weird shit. I couldn't even interpret it. It was like just weird MAGA shit. And they're like, oh, she thinks that having a therapist is a flex. And I'm like, doofus. Yes, because that means my ducks are aligned in the mental health department. You guys are like, what? What the hell? Yes, I go to therapy, meaning I've talked to a professional. I mean, I even sound more sane than these people. Maybe I'll post some of the screenshots up. I'm just like, and to go off of I know it's a little off topic, but to go off of like the way that people see therapy as like bad or something, that needs to stop. You know how I know that quite literally everybody needs therapy? I see it when like Dean Withers, he does those debates, and it's like therapy. That's exactly what therapy is. The way he's like, oh, but you believe in Jesus, and the guy's like, well, I just believe it because it aligns with my religion. And he's like, well, you're a Christian though, so you believe he was a lot, and so, but the guy saying it out loud, he kind of stopped in his tracks, and he was like, he was realizing. And that's what therapy does for you. And another place where I see it come up quite often is in interrogation rooms. Like, all these videos online about people getting interrogated by cops, and the cops intentionally set it up as like, oh, well, what were you feeling? How did that make you feel? And you really see then and there, because some people, I mean, there's just a whole mixture of things when it comes to interrogations, but point being, they cracked down. All they needed, you can tell before they committed this murder, this huge crime, whatever, that's all they needed is just somebody, if that interrogation would have happened before whatever they did, it would have done a world of difference for them. And it's sad that it's just in the toilet these days. And I'm like, today of all day, I mean, these times of all times, I've never seen it so bad before. I mean, I can just almost like that movie What Women Want. Like, I can just hear people's problems, when they go by, or I don't actually hear it, but I practically can. And I think that that's why MAGA people just hate me so much, because I think I figure them out right away, and they hate that, or it makes them uncomfortable. Or not just, I mean, that goes for anybody, but I'm speaking about my like MAGA people in general recently because they've been going so hard and just making fun of him. I mean, even before Charlie Kirk, I didn't say shit about Charlie Kirk. All I did was posted a picture of Cartman and they went off. I got all kinds of death threats. Don't give a shit. These are the same people that were afraid of Black Mermaids, or that Black Mermaid that came out in the movie theater. So I really have no skin off my bones. But anyway, these MAGA people, I mean, they just go so hard. I mean, they're really brutal on the cyberbullying, and it's like, I think that they think that I'm making them feel like shit, so they're gonna say things as mean as they possibly can to make me feel as shitty as they do, because they think that I'm causing it. Or maybe that's how they feel towards the world. I don't know. But I know that I catch on to people right away because I'm like, oh, they're just having this problem or whatever. And it bothers them because they're like, oh, like, I don't even think that they realize that about themselves. And anyways, like, MAGA people, like, seriously, please just go to a therapist. It's not as gay as it sounds, okay? Just go, put a little effort into it, find a therapist. I guarantee you, I cannot stress this enough. You will thank yourself later. You might even thank me later, but I won't even go that far. But you will thank yourself later. And you'll be able to navigate through things like this easier. I mean, it's going to benefit you in the long run, because then you're going to see, oh, wait, my paychecks, my taxes, the economy is bad, or it's going to help you. It's going to help you see the truth in things. And, you guys are all about, oh, fuck your feelings, facts over feelings. But boy, are you guys like, that's what you guys are the most hypocritical about, because it's like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, who do you agree with the most in this panel? Because I didn't, surprisingly, because I didn't even know who that prosecutor was, I was just taken back by what he was saying, because it is exactly what's been needing to be said, and it's exactly accurate. And to hear it from somebody who's, he's been a prosecutor for so long and done such huge cases, like, that was really something. And I would play that back if I were you, just to get it through, because that really is what's going on. I mean, it's a clown show. I mean, this is nuts. It's like giving a toddler the free pass to run the country, quite literally, like a juvenile toddler with mommy issues. And that's not even a jab. That's legit. Like, he has mommy issues. He's sociopathic. He's had doctors all throughout the 90s, like, legitimately diagnose him with a sociopathy. And there's just nothing that's going to get through to you guys. I mean, Obama wears a tan suit and he's the worst enemy in the world, and like Biden does God knows what, blink or even eat ice cream, and it's like he's the devil. But this guy's quite literally ruining the country. He's ruining your life. My sister's dead because of him. I mean, over 1 million people lost their loved ones because of him. He's totally he has done so much damage, and he's only doing worse damage now because he's promoting such strong hate, which is the weakest, wackest, gayest shit I've ever seen in my life. That's like screaming, I have the tiniest, ugliest dick in the world, and like, I'm terrified to come out of the closet kind of shit. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's really doing damage, and you guys are just loving him. I mean, you guys are just worshiping him. And I'm telling you, I hate to sound like a broken record, and I hate that this is so cliche, but it's a freaking heck cult. How much more proof do you need? You're in a cult. I mean, you're only going to do yourself. I cannot stress enough. You're doing yourself damage by supporting this man anymore. The fact that he's even gotten this far is just, there are no words. It's just ultimately disappointing. And I just have so much more to say about this. Please understand that it's not blue versus red, especially on topics like these. I mean, this shouldn't be any kind of my team versus your team or what. I hate that you guys treat it like teams and like so diehard, but you have to realize that some things that people who aren't in your party or aren't on your team, like some things they say, you have to just take it as like it's a universal thing. I mean, we're saying this because we're concerned, but it's not like, we're not like you guys. We're like, oh, this is going to work against them. Yes, like that. Absolutely is not how any healthy-minded, sane, normal person is programmed. Like it just doesn't. That's not how we compute. And it's so alarming that there's so many of you out there that do compute that way, because it's like not only is that third grade, not even third grade, like kindergarten behavior, but it's dangerous. It's caused many deaths. I mean, it's probably most likely the cause of Charlie Kirk's death. So, I mean, hate only multiplies hate. It only breeds, hate breeds hate. And I don't know why you guys are choosing it so strongly, because literally nobody else except your party is choosing to be that way. You don't see these blue-haired freaks talking about their Starbucks cups sporting guns, okay?
They got your data, dumbass.
Do not come